Gemini, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early December 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Geminis. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here, my gods. Talk to me. What do we have for these Geminis here in early December? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And then at the very end, I have a special treat for you this week, my friends. My lifelong friend who happens to be an expert in astrology is going to do an astrological segment for you guys. So show her some love. It'll be towards the end. She's part of the collective, the Gemini collective. But let's get it going here. Let's get into the reading. And yeah, let's go, my guides. Talk to me. Let's rock and see what we got for Gemini in early December. Please and thank you. Yep, there we go. Nice and quick. Okay, I do like this. This card is like a double-edged sword and nothing too negative. It could be a little avoidant sometimes, but it's also extremely beautiful and aesthetic. So I really like that we're leading off with this energy, because trust me, there's more complicated ones that we could be dealing with, but there could be someone laying low with this energy here. Now, before we fully dive into it, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the December subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about this card. So you see the aesthetics here. We have this woman. It looks like she's in a pond. She's next to all the swans, and they're moving to and fro, back and forth. So to me, first and foremost, it's very beautiful. So for a lot of Geminis, maybe there's something about aesthetics. Maybe you're changing up your look. Maybe you're checking out your wardrobe. Maybe you're feeling pretty confident. This is a good card for that. So there is something linked to perception and how people perceive you that could be showing up here right on the front end. However, a big thing with this card, it shows up often when somebody doesn't want trouble, right? Whether it's somebody that's laying low, they don't want trouble or beef with you. Maybe there's someone that you don't want to have any problems with and you're laying low. Sometimes this card could represent somebody pulling into hermit mode for whatever reason, okay? Not necessarily a bad thing. It's just someone that just, I don't want to have any problems. I don't want any issues. So it's a little avoidant when I see it. So it could be either or, it could be both. You just take it how it hits and place that down right here. And let's get into tarot now. And I always say that first card doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 cards in the upright, then we'll get into the intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time for the Geminis. And while we get the deck ready, let's talk about last week's reading. Now, for quite a while, it's been a back and forth seesaw of energy for the Gemini readings. It's like we get a really good reading and then we start getting some warnings and there's some choppy roads. Last week's reading was a little choppy. It was titled A Serious Warning. And Spirit was raising the alarm about something, all right? It was raising the red flag. So hopefully a lot of you aren't going through too many issues or situations. But we're going to see what we have for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're linked to. Let's get it going here. 3 cards to start us off for the Gemini collective in early December. What do we got, my gods? Thank you. Okay. All right, we're starting here. We have the Ten of Swords in position number 1. Okay. That's not what I'm wanting to start off with, but we're going to take it anyway. We're going to roll with it. Because remember, we need to clarify it and everything anyway. So we could be starting with an ending of some sort, or there could be one in the energy. That's a card of pain, right? Nothing to freak out about. We don't stress any cards around here. Okay, there's, all right, double fire. So back to this volatile energy, Gemini. We have the Page of Wands, position number 2, and we also have the 5 of Wands. So strap in for this one, okay? I'm not necessarily saying this is going to be like a treacherous one, but there might be some things still in the energy that we might want to take a look at for sure. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. So at first look, first glance, I'm looking down here elementally. Obviously, we're pretty much ruled by fire at this moment. We have double wands cards on the back and also the Ten of Swords, which is air. That's an element you're generally comfortable in, Gemini, that air energy, the communication, the intellectual. But I always say when you mix the fire and air, it can be volatile, right? It could be unpredictable. There could be surprising things popping up, unexpected things popping up. It's very explosive in its ways. So we're really going to want to go step by step here, because there's a lot of ways that this reading could go. But in position number one, we're going to begin with the card of endings, possibly. We have the Ten of Swords. Now, don't let the imagery get you too nervous or upset. We all experience these situations from time to time. Now, I'll give you some of the positives and silver linings of the Ten of Swords. One, it's a rough and tough ending, right? Like anyone that knows tarot knows the Ten of Swords, it's not the nicest energy to contend with. It can represent some sort of pain or ending when we see it. In its roughest sense, it could be someone that's feeling betrayed. In its roughest sense, it could represent loss or injury, things like that. But I would say there's a silver lining to the Ten of Swords, is that it's like there's nowhere to go but up from this energy. And we're kind of seeing it as we go throughout the rest of the reading, that this could be an ending or a pain that's already elapsed, especially since we're starting off with it. Okay, not all Ten of Swords are treacherous and somebody out to get you, but we're really going to want to keep an eye on it, that's for sure. Now, moving over to the second card, we have the Page of Wands. Now, for a portion of you, maybe you're connected to a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag. If not, I always say pages are students and messengers of the tarot deck. They could all represent new ventures, new things. So I find it interesting that we're going from a card that could represent things closing out with the Ten of Swords into something possibly very new. Whether it's a new beginning or a renewal of some sort or something brand new, you could really be trying to throw your energy into new endeavors with this Page of Wands. Could be communication as well. So like I said, with all the fire and air, it could be like sudden, unexpected talks and communication coming in. Page of Wands energy rushes in like out of nowhere. So that is something that we'll need to keep a pulse on as we move throughout the reading. I would say there's a warning with the Page of Wands about what you focus your energy towards. As with all the Wands court cards, Spirit could be asking you like, all right, what are you focusing your energy on? Are you putting too much energy into this? Are you not putting enough energy into that? The Page of Wands can be prone to burn itself out from time to time as well. So that's something to watch out for. Now, moving to the back end, we have the Five of Wands. This card can be a little bit combative sometimes, all right? Once again, it doesn't have to be, you know, like, oh no, watch out. We'll see when we get to the clarifier. But with the Five of Wands, you don't have to be an expert in tarot to understand what this card means, right? You see the five people, they're beating the tar out of each other with sticks. So it can represent conflict, whether external or internal conflict. Now, there are good aspects to this Five of Wands. One, it could represent someone with a ton of determination. Like, I'm going to keep fighting. I'm going to keep moving. Nothing's going to stop me. If Spirit's going to test me, it's me against the world type of energy. I'm not slowing down, can't stop, won't stop, which can be a very good thing with the Five of Wands. But once again, it's combative. So whether it's somebody that's angry with you, maybe you're a little angry with somebody else. Sometimes the Ten of Wands the Five of Wands could feel like the Ten of Wands, where it's like you're pushing a boulder up a hill. So we have some possible things to contend with. Maybe we have a couple warnings, who knows? But I really want to dive deeper on all this stuff, Gemini. It's very interesting. Let's do it. We're going to jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for you, my friends, and see what's happening. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Ten of Swords here. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to give to Gemini, you drop it right down in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, let's go in on that Ten of Swords. I mean, I feel like I've been seeing Ten of Swords for you sprinkled in recent weeks as well. But like I said, the fact that we go from like a card of possible ending to beginning, there's like a cycle. There's a cyclical energy we're picking up already. Let's see what that Ten of Swords has to say. Use that Ten of Swords here. Cute. Okay. Two of Swords, a little confusion here. Like, I don't get it. Like, all right, why did it have to go this way? Type of energy. There could be somebody that is grappling with a little bit of confusion, but another thing I will say with the Two of Swords, it doesn't just have to be like confusion. There's an air of mystery here, and I've been seeing it from the beginning with the fire-air combo, which we're still on, that there could be things that are unpredictable. So I'm hoping for some of you this isn't like an unexpected ending or one that popped up or came up out of nowhere. That could be it for some Geminis, that's for sure. Whether you planned for it, whether you didn't, that's a possibility. But I see somebody trying to grapple with something in their mind. Like, okay, well, why? What led up to it? Why did this happen? Why did this Ten of Swords happen? I didn't see it coming. It doesn't make sense. Like, that's kind of the vibe I'm picking up here, Gemini. So everyone knows that air signs are very intellectual, analytical people, okay? And especially Geminis. They like to understand things. So I'm hoping that things haven't elapsed or things haven't happened recently where it has you feeling confused, where you just don't quite understand the purpose, or it's like, I didn't see this coming. So there is this explosive or unexpected energy showing up here attached to an ending in a little confusion, right? So we're not going to overcomplicate it. We'll just put it down. We'll see how it plays out. Because remember, I did say this Ten of Swords, that's the beginning. This could be something that's already happened. And if that's the case, if you've been through this Ten of Swords moment already, there still might be aspects of it where it's either just not making sense or you're just trying to wrap your mind around it for whatever reason. Let's keep going. And with that, I will say there's certain things in life that sometimes you can't figure it out, right? Like why people act certain ways, why people do what they do, you know? You could only control your reactions sometimes. Let's go in on that Page of Wands, as we still have much to go, much to look at. So why is the Page of Wands here? Thank you. Coming back around type of energy. We have the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so yeah, we're seeing a cycle here for sure, whether it's happened or whether it's gonna happen. Eight of Pentacles in the upright underneath the Page of Wands. Like, okay, well, yeah, this all happened, but let's work on this. Let's make it happen. Now, I just want to say for the record, Gemini, I don't consider myself a romantic reader only. I try to look at the big ball of wax in regards to a reading, but underneath this Page of Wands, we have the Eight of Pentacles. For some of you, maybe it is news regarding a job or a work thing or a work situation. But remember, I did say this page is about expression of focus, expression of energy. Where are you putting it? And under this Eight of Pentacles, with this Eight of Pentacles, this is a diligent energy wanting to give to something. So with this double down of the energy here, it's like a possible returning energy, or an energy of someone saying like, no, I want to put energy into this. I want to work on this, whatever this might be, right? Whether it's a business thing, whether it's a relationship thing, maybe it's even yourself, right? There's a very motivated energy here. And even though this earth does ground it down a little bit, it's like this Ten of Swords, Two of Swords mixture in the beginning. It's like, all right, I don't want that to get in the way. I don't want that to slow it down. There's something that either you want to still give your energy to, or someone you're connected to, they still want to give theirs. That's just the vibe I'm picking up here. Let's keep moving. I don't want to overcomplicate it. Like I said, for some of you, if that didn't resonate about wanting to give energy and relationship things, it could easily be work. You know, if you've been like looking for work, new jobs, stuff like that, you could receive news about that, because remember, pages are messengers. Let's go in on that Five of Wands. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into your astrological forecast, which should be an interesting one. So let's see why that Five of Wands is here for the lovely Geminis, guides and spirit team. What's going on with that Five of Wands? Yeah, Page of Swords in reverse. So you'll see here, most of this spread is really consisting of fire and air. We do have that one earth thing. All right, there's a resistance here as well. So like these are people in two completely different modes, whereas this one here in the middle is like, I want to push energy towards it. I want to work on it. There's a huge like wall here on the back end. That's what I'm picking up intuitively, where it's like this one's give. This one on the back end is like, no. So you might feel in this time certain things you might be wanting to give your energy or push your energy towards. There could be big blockages. Now the Page of Swords in reverse, it could be a card that could represent you. So since you are an air sign, could be another air sign. With it in reverse under the Five of Wands, you might be feeling a certain way about somebody or a certain situation, right? You might be a little angry or upset. Maybe someone's angry or upset with you. That's a big possibility. I've been seeing that in other signs where something's just not sitting right with somebody, okay? So if this is representing you, you might be a little more fired up than you normally are, but energetically, there's a possible rejection here on the back end where it's like this one wants to give energy to it, but this one's like, not so fast. So there's a possible big rejection on the back end. Take from now what you will. Now, does that mean that energy is going to stay that way forever? Absolutely not. You know, that energy is prone to shift and change, but either it's somebody completely in their feelings, angry, upset, mad, or it's a rejection of some sort. That's just how it feels to me. Now, of course, it could be other things. Let's go through and do a quick recap and we'll get into your astrological segment here, which, yeah, I definitely want to check that out. But if you kindly look in the box, a lot happening here, Gemini. Lots of energies to contend with and play with. We have a lot of air and fire. Like I said, it's explosive. So we could be looking at a warning in total, like an explosive warning possible. But position number one, we have the Ten of Swords with the Two of Swords in the upright. Somebody trying to wrap their mind around something, or there's like some confusion, like, why did this even happen? What were the motives? I didn't even see this coming. So there could be like unexpected things ending or closing out. And something just didn't make sense about it, where it's just not stacking up or adding up, okay? Like I said, if it's not that, it's the unexpected ending part. In the center, now we have like a return type of energy where it's like, okay, well, yeah, that happened, but I want to give energy to something. So for some of you, if it's about work-related things, you could be receiving messages or stuff like that. Whether it's new tasks, you might be wanting to give your energy to a new task or a new path. Very motivated here. I'm projecting energy out. But we get this brick wall on the back end with the Five of Wands, Page of Swords in reverse, where to me, it just feels like somebody rejecting the energy moving towards them, okay? So whether you're doing it, somebody else, like there's also a disgruntled energy as well, where somebody feels a little angry on the back end for whatever reason. So there's a lot of energy to contend with. I would really recommend you looking into this further. So yeah, please feel free to take a screenshot. And with that being said, we're going to kick it over to my very, very good lifelong friend, Stacy, for your astrological segment.
Hi, my name is Stacy. I've been practicing astrology for 29 years, and I'm here to tie in what's going on in the cosmos with your tarot reading. And for this one, we're talking about Gemini rising. As of November 25th, Mercury went into shadow and is currently in Capricorn. It started out in Sagittarius. We had a Gemini full moon this week on the 27th, so those energies are playing out as well. And we currently have Venus and the South Node traveling together and squaring Pluto. And we have Mercury sextiling Saturn currently as well this week. And Neptune is preparing to go direct on December 6th. So there's a very heavy Neptunian energy in play, and we'll discuss more of that. On December 12th, there's going to be a Sag new moon, and on December 13th, Mercury officially goes retrograde. And I'm going to explain to you how it all ties in. With the Mercury shadow, we have very confusing communication as it was squaring Neptune and Pisces. There may have been miscommunication with authority figures, maybe parental figures, or in your public life, because the 10th house is a very public house. With the Gemini full moon, there was an opposition to Mars, which is conjuncting the sun in Sagittarius. With a full moon opposing Mars, there's definitely a struggle for what you've been pursuing and where you're being driven towards versus what you need to bring to culmination. And so this is happening in your 1st and 7th house. And there's definitely a need for you to resolve something possibly within yourself or in your life overall with the 1st house full moon, and maybe considering that before you pursue your 7th house passions. At the same time, with Venus squaring Pluto, and that's happening in your 8th house and your 5th house, that is a challenging energy as well. There is a challenge for the intimacy that you may desire in your life, and having to reevaluate what you value, what you love, where you're, what you define as beautiful. And this is happening in your 5th house. So it's definitely going to be more romance based. And Pluto is in the 8th house. So that's a very deep sexual house, an intimacy house, a house of endings. So there could be something that you have to resolve and bring to an ending before you can really refine what it is that you want from your intimate partners. With the new moon in Sagittarius, that's coming on December 12th, that's happening in your 7th house as well. So we have a lot of 7th house energy in play. And that new moon is going to be trining the North Node in Aries in your 11th house. So this can very well play out where you can meet someone through friends, through social groups, or even through the internet, because 11th house has to do with all three of those. Be mindful that Mercury will be going retrograde 6 hours after the new moon. So whatever you begin with that new moon energy, you're going to be revising those plans. You're going to need to pace yourself with whatever you're pursuing. Mercury in retrograde in itself is, everyone knows the typical Mercury retrograde energies happening in your 7th house. There very well could be someone coming back from the past, maybe to revisit the relationship or resolve what needs to be resolved between that old partnership. And there also needs to be reconsideration with your relationship goals overall. Where is it that you want to go with your relationship future? There could be some redefining of what it is you expect of your partner if you're in a current partnership. And that's going to play out until January. So definitely pace whatever comes up during the Mercury retrograde period, because it will have to do with partnership, and it will be some pretty significant energy as the rest of the month plays out and other astrological factors play into the month. So I hope you enjoyed this reading and it gave you clarity. I know with the tarot reading, some of the same energies came up. There was some confusion about why things ended, and maybe someone wanted to work on things versus another person not wanting to work on things. A very blocked energy, blocked communication. And that really does tie into the focus on where you want your relationship to go, what you expect of partnerships and intimacy. So hopefully this helps you and gives you clarity as to how to proceed forward. And with that, stay tuned for the subscriber surprise. I hope you enjoyed.
If you got your name in for the November subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced after this week's fire and air readings. But for December, I'll be giving away 3 copies of the beautiful Tarot of the Owls. It's one of my favorite new decks out there, and it's really enjoyable to work with. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, what do you think tarot is best used for? Is it for looking at love situations, the past, the future, energy checks? Whatever it is, you drop your answer down in the comments below. And as always, the winners will be announced at random at the end of December. My friends, as always, much love to you, and I'll see you next time.